Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Siege of Avalon. We're about to start on our scouting mission out in the village here. But before we do that, we're going to have to get our stealth rating up a little bit. Because stealth rating of 7 isn't exactly going to get us very far. So we're going to start putting points into that. It starts at a cost of 2, but after we put a few in, the cost jumps up to 3. And then to 4, and I guess we'll put it up to about 50. That's not too bad. And while we're at it, we might as well bump up our mysticism a bit, since it wouldn't really make much sense to have our stealth rating higher than our mysticism. And we're now down to 108 training points left over, but I think that was a worthwhile investment. Fortunately, we won't be using the stealth much once we finish with this mission, but again, I sort of want to show this mission how it's supposed to be played, so it's rather necessary. Anyway, we're going to equip the stealth spell, since it's going to be the main one we're going to be using from this point onward, and we'll head out. And once again, it's nighttime out, conveniently enough, which will make it a lot easier for us to navigate and get around unseen. As I mentioned before, if you attack an unaware enemy, you get a stealth damage applied to you, but they do have to be unaware, and doesn't seem to be working on this wolf all that well for some reason. I think it's supposed to work if you're using melee as well, but usually you use bows because it's a lot easier. But fireballs still work just as well, whether or not you're stealth. Anyway, as you can see, the village seems to have been repopulated with Shaohul. But this one is friendly. We can actually talk to him. And that is due to the mask. It's also due to the mask that we can actually understand him and hear what he has to say. So that's rather helpful. It's a good thing we have it, otherwise you couldn't really do this mission properly. And probably have a little bit of trouble with it. Well, the mage wouldn't have too much trouble with it, I don't think. You could just very easily just run around and slaughter everyone you see. It wouldn't be too difficult, I don't think. But this is all familiar territory so far. As I mentioned before, the map has been expanded so that it's actually now a 4x4 village area. So if we reach the former boundary of the village, we can actually keep going to the right, and we enter into a new section. And we actually pop out right next to this one building, which is rather convenient because there's a human in here, a man named Old Ben. And he mentions that he knows Mudam, and he also mentions that the hounds that the Shaohul keep will be able to smell that you're a human, and the mask won't be able to protect you from them. This guy is actually important if you're a scout. He will be giving you the scout class quest, which is rather important. And he's very easy to miss, unfortunately, because he's just tucked away in this one building. But if you're a scout, you should definitely be investigating this area and finding out what you can from there. He gives you a quest in which you have to swap out a staff. That is, you have to sneak into Mithras's private tent and swap his staff for for a fake one that he gives you. And this requires a fairly high stealth rating to accomplish, and it's a bit difficult. There's quite a few invincible enemies in this game, or in this chapter, to keep you from simply butchering everyone. So you really can't be seen while you're doing it, otherwise they'll attack you and you can't really defend yourself against them. They'll kill you rather quickly. And as you've seen, we don't really need the stealth just yet, as all of the enemies are friendly anyway. And this is actually one interesting area. This is one example of a place where enemies will continually spawn, they'll just keep popping out of these tents as long as you're around. And it's one of the reasons why if you ever get caught, you need to be very stealthy. And there's really no reason to kill a lot of these enemies because they don't give any training points. But some of them do, and for that reason you have to... it's a good idea to, once you're done with everything here, to come back and kill all the enemies that you see, just to get the training points. So we might be doing that. I'll probably do it off screen since there's really no point in showing it to you. Anyway, if you come down here, we find someone named the Shaohul Scoutmaster, and he's one of the first important people that you'll meet. And if you talk to him, he'll mention that he'll give you special training, and he's actually the special trainer for this chapter, and he gives you scout training. But again, in order to get his training, you have to first complete some tasks for him. And the first thing you need to do is obtain the Hound Master's tunic from his tent. And it can be found just south of his location. So we're going to go do that first. And it should be in this area somewhere, near a collapsed tower. And head down here. I believe we'll find something of interest. Ah, here we are. Here's a Shaohul caster, and he's hostile. The casters are smart enough to see through our disguise, so we actually have to fight them. We can't just strike up a conversation with them, unfortunately. So they'll be a bit of an obstacle to us for the time being. There's also a chest here, and inside of it is some not very useful items. I believe this serrated scimitar is somewhat rare, but it's not very good. I think the sword you would have found in the previous chapter is a lot better. And this warrior is actually hostile. I guess he saw us kill the shaman, so we'll have to kill him, I suppose. And he didn't seem to give us many training points. That's unfortunate. One thing to note here is that a lot of the casters, in this chapter have a lot of rings on them. So if you're interested in picking up some rings, you can get them by killing off the casters, who you'll have to kill off anyway. They won't ever spawn as friendly, and that can be a bit of a problem, unfortunately. And a number of these warriors are actually hostile now, I guess because of the caster. Maybe using the fireball wasn't exactly a subtle way of getting rid of him, but that's how we chose to do it, I guess. And if we come over here, we'll find yet more Shaohul, and believe that the Houndmaster's tent is around here somewhere. Let's see. Ah, well, we found something else. Seems that a number of guards are training here, and it just so happens that this is one of the locations we have to seek out. And so we've scouted the southern location that Mudam told us to look for. So that's done at least. We haven't found the Houndmaster yet. I can't quite remember where he is, but we've done one of the 3 major objectives we've been told to accomplish. So that's good. But I think for now we're going to wrap up this video since I'm running out of time. And in the next video we'll try to find the Houndmaster. Alright, see you then.